Okay, so first I'm going to forewarn you, I have a 2-year-old behind me that's making a lot of noise, and that's what I have to deal with at the moment. But this is a quick short video, and this is about applying color to the individual cubes. One thing I just want to stress is that you want to leave the construction lines. The construction lines are the interior lines, or the old lines that you use to find the interior, exterior parts of every cube. So you want to leave those. This is considered construction lines. And then by using the darker blue, you outline the form, pulls the form out. You don't have to worry about erasing and cleaning. And I don't want you to cleanly erase. I want it to have a history to it. So you want to keep that there. And if you ever need to find something or utilize an angle, you can still find it, which is nice. Now, you might be wondering why I'm holding this here. I just did a quick sketch of another version of a rectangle. It's interesting, though, how much smaller this is than that one. I just used a different angle, and it's not activating or not occupying as much space, which actually might yield better results in terms of the shadow being applied. If I have a shadow coming from this or sunlight coming from this direction, there's this space here that the cast shadow can lay on, whereas here it's a little bit tight. That's fine, it's not a big deal. But what I'm going to do now in this video is I'm going to show you how to apply a yellow-green cube in using 3 planes. So these are the 3 planes, and each plane will get a different value. So the top plane is going to be number 1. The side plane over here is going to be number 2, and this plane is going to be a number 3. Now, if you want to reverse that and have your light coming from this direction, then you can make this your number 1, this your 2, and this your 3. You just flip them, and then the shadow will be more over here. I just have always gone from left to right in terms of the direction. It's just natural for me by now, and I always do that. So, but feel free to do what you want. All right. Next thing is I'm going to get this is the colors that you're going to use. So in your pack you have 12 colors, and you're going to pull out your yellow. Yeah, yellow. And you're going to pull out your green, and you're going to pull out your lighter blue. You have 2 blues, a dark one and a light one, or a lighter one. And I believe you might have 2 greens, but this is like a middle green. So you're going to do this in layers. I'm just going to select one. I'll select this guy here. First thing I'm going to do, actually I might just try to clean up some of the little dots and things I have there that I can see. See if I want to clean that up. But the first thing I'm going to do is just put a nice even layer of yellow on the entire cube. So everything gets, every plane, every side gets a coat of yellow. And I might even put another coat on afterwards. And I'm doing this in the easiest direction for me right now. If you see a little hand over here, that is the hand of a 2-year-old looking to do something. All right, so I filled this in, right? The cube's clearly going to be more than that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my green and I'm going to lightly apply a value. And in this case, I'm going in the same direction because you can't really see the yellow, it's so light, so it's okay to go in the same direction for this one particular guy here. And then I'm going to throw another, the same value here. So I hit the top plane lightly. This one's grabbing my arm. Give a look, go, buddy. And now I am applying a tone to the side plane. And I'm just kind of filling it in. And I'm applying the same tone to the other side plane. But what I like to do, must have left it there. what I like to do is sharpen my pencil. And because if it's too dull, sometimes it just picks up strange textures. So now I have a sharp pencil. It's kind of hard to like. Sun grabbing my arm. Whenever you overlap an area, and you can see I'm trying my best not to overlap an area, but whenever you overlap an area, it's going to get darker and darker. So when I'm filling this in, I'm trying my best to keep it just kind of one tone, right? So now I filled this in, and it's all the same. It's all an even tone. Now I'm going to turn the angle of the board. Instead of turning my body, I have to protect that from him. And turn it this way. And I'm going to add another layer right here. And I'm going to apply that same layer here. In the same direction as I'm facing my body. And the nice thing about this is that when you apply the value, you can still see all the lines underneath. You want to be able to see that. All right, so now I applied the same value here, and here at the same tone. So this has one layer, this has two layers, this has two layers. I'm going to add one more layer to this guy, and I'm going to go in this direction here. I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm just going in the opposite direction. By turning my paper and going in opposite directions, I don't overlap the same line. Actually, I'm not going the opposite direction. It's the same exact direction as it was before. I'll turn it this way. Darn it. I'll just go. There we go. This direction I haven't done yet. By applying this, by applying another layer, as I was saying before, it gets darker. And you can already see it's getting darker. I applied a little layer there, and I'm just trying not to overlap that because it's going to get darker in the corner, and then I have to make everything else the same value, and I don't want to yet. So this has one more layer darker, right? But, did you steal my blue? No. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my blue, and I'm going to go on top of this one more time, and that should be enough. So I have one layer of yellow, one layer of green at the top, one layer of yellow and two layers of green on the side, one layer of yellow and three layers of green, and one layer of blue on the side. Now I'm going to go back in that original direction that I was doing before. And I will say there's something about filling shapes in with value or color or whatever. There's something mesmerizing about it. Okay, so you can kind of tell that this is a little darker. This is a mid-tone. This is a light tone. The warmth of the sun is here. And this is this has a little bit of a yellow to it, but it's more of a neutral compared to this and that. It's a little more warmer than this. And this has a coolness to it because I applied that blue. What are you doing? And so I'm happy with that. And it feels like an even application of value, an even application of tone. And you want to do this on every single one of these cubes, but you want to treat them all the exact same at this point in time. So they look exactly the same. Do not feel that this one's going to be darker than that one because it's underneath of it. Eventually we're going to apply shadows. Eventually there's going to be a cast shadow of this on top of this, but you don't know where that is yet. There's an approach, there's angles, there's all sorts of techniques to figure that out. At this point in time, do not worry about it. So just take a step at one at a time. I'm just cleaning up some of these little tiny things here. And fill it in. All right, I'm gonna turn the video off and stop. Okay. All right, so I just wanted to state this really quickly. As you're applying the color, you really want to strive to keep these as consistent as you possibly can. If one seems darker than the other, and this one's kind of the middle in between the two, and this one's all over there, and it seems inconsistent, it's not going to work out as well as you want it to. You want these to be consistent because eventually you're going to put another cast shadow on top of this, and you have to make it darker using colored pencils and all this stuff. And if it's inconsistent with the shadow, when it overlays on top of whatever value you have here, it's going to just be even more inconsistent. So consistency is really key. One more thing I want to talk about too before I end this video is if you find yourself in a situation like I have done, and you've completed something in the center and you have to work over here to the right and you're right-handed, and you're doing this, you're just going to smear with the side of your hand all this work. How do you get around that? What you can do is you just get a piece of paper, you put it on top, and then you can cover that area. And you can work freely without interrupting or smearing is the word I'm looking for, the work that you've done before. And now that I'm mass producing these, I'm getting a little bit more, just dumped my whole tray. I'm just finding ways to do this quickly. So I'm just covering this all in one tone of yellow and moving on. I might hit this guy, you can kind of see it, I'm doing it. So I might just do it in stages and just use these as guides. All right.